Okay then guys, just a quick look at the paper then by way of introduction before we go through the questions one by one in turn through the live worksheet. And basically it's a good idea in an exam to have a quick look at the paper before you start, just to sort of process the questions you're going to see in the exam, to see if there's any stinkers or see if there's ones that are fairly user-friendly. And you might want to choose the user-friendly ones to do at the outset rather than the harder ones, and leave the harder ones right to the end perhaps. Also, when you do look at the questions, it gives you a chance for your brain subconsciously to absorb the question, to think about it subconsciously so that when you come to do it in turn, then you may have done some preparatory work in your mind for the question, so you may be in a better position to solve it. So let's have a look at this paper then. This is the June 2011 C4 paper for the AQA examination board. So let's just flick through the questions, see if there's any nasty ones or see if there's any good user-friendly ones here. So this is the first question here then. Polynomial, input of value, factor theorem, and division of polynomials and such things. That's a nice question, nice easy question to start with then. Question 1. Get you off to a good start if you chose to do that one. This one is modelling of an equation here. You have to produce this model, put in values, show. That's nice because you don't need to double check questions like this because you're actually showing a value. And then so that will save some time when you come to double checking, so that can already be ticked off if you get this value as an answer. Yeah, that's just modeling an equation. Two sets of unknowns, two input values. You'll be able to work out the value of a and k there. Write down a and write down k, and then predict the volume. So it'll be taking logarithms probably to some base of some sort. So question 2 is not too bad, just a bit wordy, a bit time consuming to read, but it should be okay in principle. And it's modelling a differential equation, isn't it there? This is binomial expansion, very standard question here, up to x cubed. A little bit of jiggery pokery here, a bit of manipulation to make this, modify this to appear to that, so you get this answer out here. But again, you don't need to double check this because the answer is already provided in the form that is said. And then you need to work out this. So here to get 119, x would need to be, this whole thing would need to be 6, wouldn't it? So you're going to need to write down 6 over 27, which is 2/9. X would be 2/9 there to get the 119. So again, that's not too bad, doesn't look too bad. So the first three questions seem fairly standard and fairly okay. Parametric differentiation, quite nice to get dy dx. Again, it's a standard thing. Normal, we can get the tangent, then the normal, input the value, get the coordinates, find the equation to the normal. Separate problem this. So this can be done separately. Double angle formula here to work out this definite integral. A nice question that, fairly easy and straightforward to do. If one is well prepared, then that's an easy question to do. We've got lines here. These questions can take an awfully long time. Coordinates a and b, equation of a line. Find a line that passes through a and b, that's nice. So that'd be easy. These lines, two lines will intersect, find the coordinates of the intersection point. And then we've got right angles. When you see that there's something, a triangle that's a right angle, don't forget the dot product is probably what needs using here, because the dot product is 90 degrees. So if you can find the two lines that are the angle, the directional vectors, you know that their dot product is is 0. And C lies on L, so this is the equation for L. So you could put in a particular parameter, say t, and you could read off the coordinates in general for the point C that it needs to have to lie on the line L, and then use the dot product. So it should come out, but it looks like it's a fairly time-consuming problem now. So maybe that might be one to leave toward the end of the examination. This equation, implicit differentiation. Verify this lies on the curve, find the exact value of c, find dy dx, and stationary point. Nice verification there. So again, if you get it right, then it's happy days because you know the question doesn't need double checking. Here we go. A snowball, modelling this differential equation. Surface area is a. And it basically, surface area is decreasing at a constant rate. So dA dt, the rate of increase is dA dt. Constant rate would be k, but it's decreasing, so dA dt is minus k, isn't it? Where k would be a constant. Okay, and then you just solve the differential equation, put in certain values and work out how long it takes for the snowball there mentioned to melt. So not too bad a question, a little bit unfamiliar in terminology, in context rather. Fractions, partial fractions, use that to then solve the differential equation, rearrange the solution. Bit of logs here it seems, properties of logs. But again, this is given. So if you get something out that looks like this, you're on the right track. And you should be able to just find out P and Q from that fairly straightforwardly. So that's a nice question, and I think that's all the questions there then. So the only question, the vector question, is probably going to take a bit of a rigmarole. So I would probably personally leave that one to the end myself. But now I've had a look at the paper, it means that I can sort of think about what I want to do, and I'd probably just start the paper now, as having spent a couple of minutes looking through the choice of questions to get my head around what I'm expected to do in this examination. So all the best then, guys. If you've got a C4 examination in the near future, I hope you do well. If you finish early in an exam, of course, which takes some doing, of course, then I recommend that you go through and double check what you need to double check. And when you've double checked everything that needs double checking, then of course triple check, so that you use every last possible moment in an examination to do your work. Don't get waylaid on a question. Sometimes you can get more marks by double checking other questions that you've done, rather than try and stumble through something that you really aren't going to be able to do, or is going to take an inordinate amount of time. So as I say, all the best then, guys, if you're taking a C4 exam in the near future, and hopefully I'll catch you again in another revision worksheet. Cheers!